second time around, and you all look really good tonight. So glad that you all could be here, and I know that you all are kind of seeing some friends for the first time in a little while, so we're going to have more time to just have some conversations, but we do want to recognize several of the ladies who are here this evening. So I'm going to turn things over right now to the Executive Director of our Oklahoma Women's Coalition. Let's hear it for Kristen Davis.
Thank you so much for joining the Oklahoma Women's Coalition and Integris at this wonderful event where we have the opportunity to thank and honor our women public officials. We at the Oklahoma Women's Coalition feel it's so important to honor the good work that they do, and especially in an election year, it's even more crucial to be involved, for women to be out there and have a voice in the public policy realm. As you may have heard, our mission at the Oklahoma Women's Coalition is to raise the potential of women and girls in our state. And I don't know if you all have seen me or heard me out in the media recently in the past couple of weeks, but there are some fairly dismal statistics out there. For example, across the country, Oklahoma is ranked 40th for women's political participation. And also here in our state, women comprise 13% of our legislature. That has to change. That's not good. And that's why the Oklahoma Women's Coalition was formed, and that's why we're here. So tonight, as we honor and celebrate our amazing, phenomenal women in public office, I'd like you to kind of keep in the back of your mind, think about ways that we as women can get more involved, whether it's simply going out and voting, whether it's advocating on an issue that we feel strongly about, or if it's for running for public office. You may actually have this burning desire to go out there and run for office that you haven't really acknowledged, or you may know of a woman who would be great out there, who would be great for our community and our state if she would run for office. Let's think about that. Let's get that dialogue going. It's time for action. So anyway, I'm just really excited by all the possibilities that lie ahead. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to be a part of this amazing coalition that will do so many things, and we've already done so many amazing things. And I'm thrilled that all of you are here tonight to honor our women public officials. Next, we're going to hear from 3 women who are public officials, and they will share their stories of their experience in public office, why they decided to run, and what they're doing for us there. And I'm really excited. Our first speaker will be Senator Susan Paddock. And then next we will have Representative J.D. Nolan, and then followed by Sandra Nafee, former mayor of Edmond. So please welcome Senator Susan Paddock.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Oh, now you've got more energy than that. Let's try it again. Good afternoon. There you go. There's the power of the woman voice there. I like that. I'm Senator Susan Paddock. I'm from Ada, and it is a privilege and pleasure to be here with you this evening. It's always interesting. They gave us 2 or 3 minutes. You understand no politician can say a whole lot, or as much as they'd like to in 2 or 3 minutes, but I will try and be very brief. First of all, I want to say congratulations to you on taking time from your busy schedules to be here, and I hope you're all members of the Oklahoma Women's Coalition. It is a powerful organization and certainly has added so much to our state. Your voice is powerful, and I hope you never forget that. And your voice is even more powerful when you put all your voices together. So again, thank you for being here. Let's give it a round of applause for the Oklahoma Women's Coalition, can we? And Kristen, I'm assuming if they're not a member, you're going to give them that opportunity later on, are you not? Yes, she's saying yes. I think I'm supposed to tell you a little bit about my story. That's far more time than you have this evening, but let it just suffice to say that in 2004, after probably a couple of decades of being a community volunteer, traveling around as the president of a national volunteer organization, as a former teacher, educator, I looked at, you remember what happened in 2004. That was the year of term limits. And I looked at a time when a third of our legislature was going to change, and I said, you know what? I can either sit on my couch and I can complain, okay? because don't we all like to do that a little bit? I can either sit on my couch and complain, or I can go be a part of the solution. And I campaigned on the promise that I'll work harder for you than I believe anybody else will, and that's a promise that I knew I could keep. And I was very kind of the dark horse in the race. Nobody expected me to win because I ran against a very well-known name. But I had a primary, I had a runoff, and I had a general. And let me tell you, it's a great weight loss program if you're looking for one. Great exercise, great weight loss, got right in shape. But let me tell you, I learned really what democracy is all about. Because until you knock doors, until you meet people one-on-one and you look at them in the eye and find out what's important to them, how can you possibly know how to serve them? And it was really, we knocked doors. Third time around, I said to my husband, I think we know these people better than our own relatives. We'll have to have a reunion when this is all said and done. And truly, those people became my family. And that's what it's been for the past 8 years. As Kristen mentioned, we don't have a lot of women in the legislature. And I think you gave some statistics. At one point in time, we were the second lowest number in the nation. And that's something that needs to change, because women bring a very special brand of consensus building and bridge building. And at the end of the day, we don't need our names on the bills. What we need is to get something done. Is that right? We need to get something done that's good for Oklahoma. And that's what I've been privileged to do. And let me tell you, for all the community service I did, and if you look at my bio, I've done a lot. I can tell you I'm able to do more good for people in this state as a state senator than I ever could as a community volunteer. And I feel truly blessed to have this opportunity. It's not meant for everybody, but let me tell you what, if you're ever interested and I can help you or give you advice, or if you want to come shadow me for a day and find out what it looks like, I'd be honored and privileged to have you do that. Thank you for what you do. I challenge you to not be complacent. The good things that need to happen in this state needs your involvement. It needs your voice. It needs your activism. And I'm so proud that you're here this evening. I hope you will continue to be involved in the Women's Coalition, continue to make your voice heard, and continue to do what we must do as women, and that is make sure that we have a prosperous and successful future for the citizens of Oklahoma. Thank you very much. God bless you.
She told me just to come straight on up here afterwards, so I'm here. I'm actually Representative J.D. Nolan. I am a freshman. This is my second session, and I'm going to just share with you from the heart some things that I believe led me to this point in my life. There have been times when I've thought, wow, how did I get here? I mean, I look at so many professional, accomplished, successful women in this room tonight, and I think, wow, I'm among greatness. And I am privileged and honored and humbled to have the opportunity just to speak to you. I will tell you, after I really started to contemplate how did I get here, that question, I realized that there were some decisions that I made, some shifts in my thinking, that I think ultimately led me to this point in my life. One of them is, ladies, I just decided I was going to face my fears. You know, I was not going to let fear and intimidation boss me around. You know, sometimes we, just human nature, do not like to get out of our comfort zones. And to run for office will push you out of your comfort zone a little bit, but to do anything new will push you out of your comfort zone. And what I've discovered is the more you step out of your comfort zone, the less uncomfortable it is. So I want to encourage you to be bold. Step out. If you have a dream, if you have a heart to serve, and you've got goals that you want to accomplish, then don't let fear or intimidation stop you, because the more you face them, the more they back off. Okay, so I want to encourage you with that. The second thing, I think we as women, at times, we have to guard against offenses. And I really, work with that, because when you put your name out there, you don't know what's coming your way. And so that's a little bit scary too. And I learned that you have to have some thick skin. That's okay. And, you know, not everybody's going to love everything you do all the time. You're not going to please everybody. That's okay. The main thing is that as you go forward, you're using your gifts and your talents to do positive things. And this is what I've learned about offense. Offense, it tends to hold us back. It dominates your thinking. Sometimes it distorts perceptions. And so what I did, and this is just a challenge to myself, and I'm going to encourage you to do the same. If somebody said something hurtful to me, then I would follow up with, well, what do you mean by that? You know, and really determine if I should be offended or not, or if it was a direct, deliberate attack on me. And you know what? It's an amazing thing, because since then, I have found that, you know, I have never talked to one person that I asked that question that really meant for it to be an attack on me. And so that, I'm very grateful for that, so I want to encourage you with that. Okay, this is the last thing. I am winding this thing up. Can give to make a positive impact and to make a positive difference in your community, in your world, in our state. So I want to encourage you that, you know, you really matter. It is important, and it's never too late to become who you've always wanted to be. And so for me, those shifts in my thinking, I really do believe have led me here. You know, it was challenging at times, and I was mad at myself at times, and, you know, I had to work through some things. And campaigning, you know, it's not my favorite part. But, you know, unfortunately, you have to campaign to get in a position like this. But we do need more women. So let me encourage you. Don't let those things hold you back. You can really make an impact, and you are important, and we need you. So thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
I think we need to move in more. We come right this way, everyone. My name is Sandra Nafee, and I want to just say ditto to what the other two elected officials have said. I want to mention a couple of things. I know many of the people in this room because we are doing things together to make a state better, a nation better, or your own city or town better. So I'm thinking that there is not, other than to give that encouragement to say that each of us has the ability to make Oklahoma and your city a better place. Honestly, I think maybe I'm supposed to be the comic relief, because I have to tell you that you can, if the advice that I would give is that you can still be yourself. We're encouraging you to not only think of yourself as an elected official, because we need some change and we probably need to ramp things up, but also that you help other women, because they probably have something that they can do that is so important that they need someone to help them. So each of you may have that opportunity. There are many women in this room that I see that have helped me. My story is that I thought it was kind of boring in Edmond, and so I thought that I wanted to move up and do more things, more fun, more excitement, and the things that I worked on, in my view, were more fun. The appearance, the public art, things that made that town be recognized. But one of the very, very most important things that I think had an impact on our city was a philosophy and a policy, and that is the City of Edmond did the first social host ordinance. And to this day, then, many other cities and towns in our state have embraced the fact that adults should not serve minors alcohol at parties. So there are things that start at the municipal level, and I encourage you to not think that municipal governance is not the right place to be. It is the perfect place to do for men. That's right. We have some mayors here too. They have moved on. So my next point is you don't always have to move on from city government, because it is important government. the thing that I love is being a former mayor is, you know, now everybody thinks I was the best mayor. When I was mayor, that I didn't hear, oh, mayor, you were the best mayor. When you're former anything, they love you. But I will say that one issue of policy that was instrumental in making a statement that I felt should be made also leads to other things that I want to relate. So when you know why you have to be yourself, things happen that you just go ahead and do. I wanted to bring this issue to the forefront for many citizens because we were getting ready to do an ordinance that would fine adults for underage teenage drinking. So we wanted to make that issue prevalent in our community. So by gosh, we had an event. I'm an event giver, you know. We went out and bashed a car. We did all these things, and we meaning the state of Oklahoma, printed cards for the city of Edmond that explained this issue, and most particularly had a hotline number to call and report those bad parties. That all you had to do was call in, and it would be, no one would know who it was, and you could report a party where there was underage drinking going on. And we got a big group together, and we went out on a Saturday, and we passed out, 5,000 of these handouts, door to door, knock, knock, knock. I go out of town for something that speaks to how women handle things. I do. I took the responsibility for that number, even though it was not something the city of Edmond did. But I felt it was already out there. Just own it. So, by gosh, I just interviewed everywhere, went on Flashpoint, said, yeah, that's what I did, but now let's talk about underage drinking. So, please know that anything can happen, and you just embrace it, because as women, be yourself. You can be making a difference in this city, and then when you're the former, you're just beloved. Thank you, everyone, for serving. I know lots of elected officials here, and I know they're going to be introduced, but I love you all, elected officials. We are sisters.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Ladies, so we've learned a lot just from these three women who have come forward about being yourself, persevering, and of course embracing the things go right as well as the things that go wrong. Okay. We do want to recognize our elected officials who are here. Not only are we challenging the ladies who have not taken that step yet to maybe think about it in your mind, to possibly do it in your future, but we want to have those who have already taken this step to come forward, and we want to recognize them and honor them for representing us so well, because they do a good job, don't they? Yes, they do. Ladies, I'm going to call your name, and if you would come forward, you're going to take a gift right here, and then we're going to have a row that's seated as well as a row that will be behind you standing so that we can take a picture. We'll try to move through this as quickly as possible. This portion of it, you can have your moment with the lights as long as you want. Senator Kim David, Senator Judy Eason McIntyre, Senator Susan Paddock, Representative Elise Hall, Representative Jeannie McDaniel, Representative J.D. Nolan, Representative Pam Peterson, Representative Emily Virgin, Major General Rita Aragon, Secretary of Veteran Affairs, the Honorable Jane Weissman, Oklahoma Court of Civil Appeals, the Honorable Arlene Johnson, Presiding Judge, Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals, the Honorable Clancy Smith, Judge, Oklahoma Court of Appeals, the Honorable Yvonne Cogger, Judge, Oklahoma Supreme Court, the Honorable Noma D. Gurich, Judge, Oklahoma Supreme Court, Dana Murphy, Oklahoma Corporate Commissioner, Willa Johnson, Oklahoma County Commissioner, Karen Keith, Tulsa County Commissioner, Janice Steedley, District Attorney, Pat Key, Tulsa County Chief Deputy, Guyla Hart, Johnston County Assessor, Carolyn Caudill, Oklahoma County Clerk. Gloria England, Jefferson County Clerk. Carolyn Fortner, Delaware County Clerk. Carolyn Kusler, Wagner County Clerk. Teresa Maris. Tammy Reese, Kay County Clerk. Bab Coker. Pam Walker, Pontotoc County Clerk. Jan Bailey. Erlene Wilson, Tulsa County Clerk. Representative Anastasia Pittman. Jan Bailey, Roger Mills County Clerk. Yvonne Dow, Kingfisher County Court Clerk. Senator Connie Johnson. Lois Foster, Grady County Court Clerk. Janice Graham, Stevens County Treasurer. Cynthia Scheffler, Blaine County Court Clerk. Raina Gilpin, Johnston County Treasurer. Joyce Hathcote, Osage County Treasurer. Christy Kennedy, Kay County Treasurer. Dana Patton, Wagner County Treasurer. Marcia Jefferson, Vice Mayor of Spencer. Angela Munson, President, Oklahoma City School Board. Meg Saylor, Ward 6, Oklahoma County Council. And Percy Walker, Representative Percy Walker. And he is our gentleman joining us on the list. Ladies, if there's anyone that I have omitted, Sandy Hodges, Wagner County Assessor. Teresa Morris. Kathy McClure, Major County. Kathy Hokett, Kingfisher County Assessor. Ladies, you have not been omitted by the heart, but we would like you just to come forward so that we can take a picture if you've been omitted from the list. Marcia Lee Welch, Pawnee County Clerk. County Muckaburg. Karen Muckaburg. Kingfisher County Treasurer. There are several of you out there, as you can see. We'll get you up here, though. Your sisters are taking care of you. Don't they look lovely? And they represent us so well. Thank you, ladies, for what you do here in the state of Oklahoma. Let's hear it again for all of our elected officials who are honored tonight.
Women and girls. And whereas the Oklahoma Women's Coalition hosts educational programs open to the public, including the Leading Ladies Reception, honoring women in elective office, a fall issues symposium, and an advocacy day at the state capitol. And whereas the Oklahoma Women's Coalition supporters will visit the Oklahoma State Capitol on April the 4th, 2012, to share ideas with their elected officials regarding issues impacting women and girls. And whereas the Oklahoma Women's Coalition is providing a concentrated effort to work with lawmakers and constituents to improve the lives of women and girls in this state. Now, therefore, I, Mary Fallon, Governor of the state of Oklahoma, do hereby proclaim April the 4th, 2012 as Women and Girls Advocacy Day in the state of Oklahoma. Thank you. Woohoo!
Thank you again to Carolyn Kusler for reading off our proclamation for this evening. Now, we have heard from our representative, our executive director of the Oklahoma Women's Coalition tonight. She greeted you in the beginning, but there's another sponsoring organization here that's put so much effort into having all of you all here today, and also last year, 2 years in a row, they have been hard at work. Integris. Let's hear it for Integris. And now let's hear from Zora Brown, Special Assistant with Integris Health.
Thank you, Anita, and I want to thank all of you for coming tonight. And I especially thank the women who made the decision to run for elected office and to participate in the public service arena. And to our special guest, especially my colleague and boss, Bruce Lawrence, thank you. I want to thank Julian Vineyards for providing the wine tonight. Thank you very much. We've all come together to create a movement. Your presence tonight assures me that we're in this together. We're in a movement to create a better environment for women and girls in the state of Oklahoma. A movement to remove the obstacles that impede the progress for all women and girls. A movement to fulfill a desire to improve the quality of life for all of the citizens of Oklahoma. And you all know the issues affecting women, the good and the bad. The women here tonight are beneficiaries of the good things that have happened to women in Oklahoma. But there are still far too many women being affected by the bad things. The lack of a quality education, domestic abuse, low-paying jobs, aging, poor health outcomes, and incarceration. Because the Oklahoma Women's Coalition has created so much momentum, legislation has been introduced to help quell some of the problems that women face in the state of Oklahoma. But we have so much more work to do. It has been my experience that women are natural leaders and problem solvers. We get it done. My challenge to you as we leave and make plans to reconvene next year is that we set benchmarks for improving the status of women in Oklahoma. Let's move our health status from worst to first. Let's increase the number of women and girls who are focused on a first-rate education. And let's make science, technology, engineering, and math a high priority for girls. Let's create an environment where women are able to live out their twilight years with dignity and grace, not shackled in poverty. Let's create not only a safe haven for women who are victims of domestic violence, but let's provide the support and counseling they need as they seek to move forward with their lives. And last but not least, let's continue to challenge the criminal justice system, which penalizes perpetrators of petty crimes far more vigorously than they do murderers. We are women of courage, women of conviction, and women who care. In 2012, let's get it done. Good night and Godspeed to all of you.